So let us break down these statements. So the formula I was thinking, what could be the formula, overall formula for which you can calculate the this. Supposing that this were an equation, let's assume that this was an equation. So what could be the formula for calculating? We have to create number of z, and from here we can do a breakdown. So people who have cars, it is one part of it, and what could be the next factor in the equation could be. Okay, I'm not able to find out. So let us leave it that. Let's see if I do the estimation, then I can think about the formula, because right now I'm not able to do it. Because people who own cars, then we will do that becomes all again like the list. So let us start estimating different factors that I can think of. So if I've already estimated the 10 million population of Delhi. Okay. In the next set of breakdown of this 10 million population. So supposing that there are number of families. So I'm assuming that per family has a one car. So if there is a 10 million population of in Delhi, so the number of population. So if there is a five people in a family, so we can calculate the number of families from that. Because why I'm calculating this number of families, because I am assuming that each family has owns only one car, and but it may be that many families can own more than one car. So I think rather than moving to families, I should be I should focus on people who can afford car, or I should try to break down these people who can afford car. Now, how I can estimate from this, if I'm assuming the population of Delhi and given the urban rural divide in the population, so for this I'm just taking an assumption from 10 million, that I'm assuming that only 5 to 10% of the population, I'm assuming 10% of the population can own car, can afford car. Now, now we have got a number on this. So the number could be 10% of 10 million. So that is, I think, 1 million people. So the number we have people who can afford cars. And currently, this is not, we are not going into this about brand, color, we do that. But we just have a number, 1 million people who can afford car in Delhi. Now, those who can afford car does not mean they have the car. this is a quite, but ideally it should not be that. But here I will assume that people who can afford the car has the car. So that is why I am assuming the 1 million people own the car. 1 million people own the car. Now let us come to the second set of. Now second set of factor in our equation is red color. Now before coming into the red color, let's focus on the Swift car specifically. Then we'll come into the red color. So of the 1 million people that own the car, how many own the Swift car? Now how I can calculate this? Let us put that Swift car into a particular segment. The segment that I will consider the, let's say, the price range of Swift car. It is around, it starts from 9 lakhs, 17. This is not actual, but I am considering that this is the, and we will take an average of this. Let's say 1 million people who own the car. Now, based on the Swift car, we will again do the breakdown of those cars. What kind of cars they own? Here, out of 1 million people, kind of car. By kind of cars, we mean the price segment car. Now, let us divide the cars into three categories. Let's say entry level, mid level, and premium. I should be writing here. So this is related to cars. So let me write it here. Entry level, mid level, and so if I were to just divide that 1 million population, those who own car, they can be by we are dividing that 1 million into by the price segment of the car they own. Now I am considering in the entry level. So in entry level, I am considering the of the 1 million, 70% of the people own the entry level car. And mid level, I am assuming 20% of the 1 million. And premium, I am assuming 10% of the 1 million. So the Swift car that is the our car that we have to calculate, it falls in under the mid level category. So if I were to just calculate the mid level segment car ownership comes around, sorry, 2 lakh. That is the mid level. Okay, here we have done the breakdown. This estimation should have come here, and here we should have made the calculation. But we are again going simply breaking down. Okay, we can come here and calculate. So right until now we have calculated. If I just revise, we have calculated the mid level car card ownership in Delhi is around 20, sorry, 2 lakh. That is the mid level ownership. Now again we go a little step further. Now, what are the cars available for the user in the mid level? I'm just taking three examples. So here we have to calculate Swift. What in the Swift? It comes Creta. Another is comes, let's take quite popular one. The Swift is of Maruti Suzuki. Creta is from Hyundai. And if I were to just another popular company, if I remember, it comes from the Renault. What is the name of Climber? I think Climber. The Climber is an entry level car. And the Swift Creta. Okay, I'm not able to remember. But there is another, I think we can add. But for now, let's take Swift and Creta and dividing Swift and Creta. And again, we will do a breakdown for. Now, I am assuming that Swift is less popular than Creta. Although reality could be different, Swift might be more popular than Creta, and Creta might be less popular than Swift. But here I'm taking that Creta is more popular than Swift. So Creta has, let's say, 70% of market, 70% of market segment or a market in the mid-level car also. And we have calculated, and let's say Swift has 30%. So these numbers comes around, it will come around 60K, 60,000. So, yes, 60,000. So 60,000 Swift cars in Delhi. Now let's begin to the next level. Now we have got there 60 Swift cars. Now the next breakdown that we will do, that will be based on the colors. Now one thing, if you notice that I am doing all the calculation myself, but this would not be the case. We should continuously get feedback from the interviewer, ask his or her opinion whether we are going on the right direction, anything we are missing into this. So that needs to be done frequently during interview process. So I'm taking just, let's take two or three colors. I'm taking green, let's take blue color, green color, and let's take red color. So just by the assumption, I will just give a number to these three colors. Let's say I'm saying, and it is just based on my observation. So let's say I've seen very less cars of blue color. I would say I've seen most number cars of Swift around. I would say 80% of the cars that I've seen on the road are of green color or a vanilla color, that is a white color, that is I think. And rest I think blue and red can be divided equally to 10% and 10%. 10% of 60,000. So that is, I think, total number of red shift color cars. So that comes around 10% of 6,000. That would be around 6,000. Yes, 6,000. So let's do a sanity check. What sanity check means that the number we have arrived at, 6,000 red color shift cars in on the roads of Delhi. So I think that is a fair number, 6 to 7,000 of red color in the entire of Delhi because we have taken whole geography of Delhi. So I can ask them to know that does this number make sense on 6,000. So now providing a summary of what I have done in all this, breaking down the question. The prompt was that we have to calculate red shift color correction value. So I estimated the Delhi population to be at around 10 million, and I took entire geography, not any particular area. And now I did the breakdown about based on the population that how many people can afford car. And for the sake of our discussion, we have taken this or we have assumed it understanding that people who can afford car actually own the car. So around 10% of people who can own car in Delhi. Because I am assuming I believe that most of the people in Delhi, 80% to 70%, do not own the car. They travel through public transportation or they have a two-wheeler in two-wheelers for their transportation. And now we did the breakdown for the car part, that what is the different segments for the car we can divide entry level, mid level, premium level. After dividing that, we did a color wise segmentation breakdown for the cars. Here it is color wise segmentation for the car, blue color, green color, and red color. And from that, we found 6,000 to be number from this, and that would be my final answer. Now I can ask the interviewer that whether this approach or anything that I have mentioned. So with this, I will conclude this, and hoping to solve more questions in the next videos. And any feedback you have, you can share or comment. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you.